All right, hi, this is Robin from, I feel like my face is big. I wanted to share with you my six-figure journey and how I grew my business to six figures, not necessarily the right way. So I'll be sharing with you some of my experience, my tips, my tools, and some of the opportunities that I found along the way. This is really designed for those in the wellness industry. I have a company, Necessary Nutrition. Pardon my lighting; it's probably not the best lighting, but we're just going to go with it. I have a company, Necessary Nutrition, which I've had for the past 10 years, and I am an entrepreneur and I am a nutritionist. So, being in business for the past 10 years has afforded me all kinds of interesting tidbits of information. And really, my intention is to share with others who are in business already, those who want to start a business, who perhaps can learn from the things that I've been through, how I started my business or why I started my business. And generally speaking, when it comes to those in the wellness industry, we're givers, we're in the service perspective. We started because we've had a personal experience. Like for me, prior to the business, was overweight, pre diabetic, and I just wasn't well. And then in getting my body healed, I realized the power of food and nutrition. And from that space, I wanted to share that with other people. So, be it if you're in yoga, massage, a physical trainer, chiropractor, esthetician, what have you, uh, we generally want to share what we know and help other people with their journey of wellness and health and wellness. So initially I started more, I was doing public speaking and talking about life design, how to design your best life. And in that, I talked about how nutrition was a part of that. And somehow or another, people started to ask me if I could help them with their nutrition journey. And make a long story short, I decided to go to school and get certified in nutrition, and I did start helping people. But what I realized is I was helping people one on one once my client was, when I was done with them doing the nutrition plan, I was pretty much done with them. So I was able to create a 1 year into my business back in 2009, a protein powder. It's our own formula, the Necessary Nutrition formula. We have whey and plant protein. And what I discovered with that is that because it was a product, when I did their nutrition plan for them, then I recommended Necessary Nutrition protein. And if they liked it, they would get it. And it's because it's a consumable product. And I want to say that again, when you have a product, unlike a service, in my case, you would use it once. You didn't come back over and over again. Where if you're a trainer, maybe your clients will come to you over and over again. But for me as a nutritionist, once I helped them, that was all. And with the product, because it was consumable, something that they eat, they use, they need more of, then it created an additional revenue stream. And I realized that I liked that because it expanded what I was able to offer. So in this time of building my business over the past 10 years, these are my profit centers. So I will be very, I'll tell you. We do nutritional counseling. We have a membership community. We have our products, our whey protein, our plant protein. We also have contracts where we work with companies and organizations and do some more workplace wellness activities with their employees. And then we have a franchise of another product, fruits and vegetables in a capsule, and aeroponic gardening system that we also provide. So all of that is the mix of Necessary Nutrition. As I was going along, how I would get my customers, so my marketing technique is I would do a lot of public speaking. And in that public speaking, I had strategies to make an offer to those that were in the audience. And generally speaking, people would gravitate to the offer. And I believe I mentioned we have a membership community, so we started to build that community. The important thing that I want for you to hear or to understand about this was that I realized something, but I still didn't do it right. But I realized that I needed different profit centers. The problem with it is that it wasn't sustainable. And when I say sustainable, some of the things that I did right was having distributors with our products. So we had other people selling our products. So that's something that I did right. But what I didn't do right is that I built the business in such a way that if I wasn't around, it wouldn't really flourish. Necessary Nutrition and Robin were pretty much synonymous. And if I were, if I had an event and I was tired or what have you, I still had to go. Just in anything else, if you're working, you got to go to work. But for me, there's no call in sick, because if I don't go, then I won't get paid. And what I realized is, though I built it to six figures, like I built it from scratch, and year after year after year, I was doing good revenue. I was tired, and I was working very, very long hours, and I just realized that it wasn't sustainable. And I felt a lot bit sad, because I had built something over all these years that I knew I couldn't continue at this pace. And I had so many classes and so many clients, and it was a lot going on, which is why the revenue grew. But at the end of the day, I was like, okay, what do I have? If I wanted to just stop and just do nothing, I would have nothing. I would have no money. And so what I realized when I think about it, when you're building a business, if it's truly a business, there's a couple of things that have to be true in order for it to be a business. And then there's some things that you want to have in place in order for it to run well. So in order for it to be a business, it has to make money. That's the first thing. And in business, sometimes it's hard to do that. So it needs to make money. And when you're building a business and it's service-based, and so first of all, having a business, you want it to make money. And then second, if you think about, I'm gonna stop and mute just a second. Let me see if I can find it and mute you. Hold on. Let me mute you. Okay. So when you have the business, now where did I go? Lost myself. Where's me? Hold on. Where's me? There I am. All right. Let me put me back. Let me see. Gotta find myself. I don't want to hide myself. I'm having, I don't know where I am. No worries. So when, let's see, my computer won't allow me to download Zoom. Break it up. No. Cancel that. Sorry guys. I am seeing messages. So let me go back to what I was saying. When you're building a business, one of the important things is that you want your business to make money. Like, that is why you're in business. A lot of times we're doing what we love and we're passionate about it, but we're not making money. So then that's really not a business. But then the other part about it, and this is what I got trapped into, was that I built a business that was successful financially, but it was more like I built a job for myself. And we go into business in this particular case because we have a passion or we want to work on our own, whatever the case may be. So if I knew then what I know now, but in theory I couldn't have, because I would have had to just take this journey, is to not build something that required me to always have to deliver myself to the people, which is difficult in the wellness industry, because just in that space, that's who we are. A lot of us are practitioners. So I'm going to just reiterate some of the things that I know I didn't do necessarily right, and some of the things that as a business owner, practitioner, what you want to pay attention to so that you won't go down the path that I went. So I'm going back to how I marketed to get my customers. I don't know if this is relevant, but I just want to say that I did a lot of public speaking. I had a lot of partnerships going on to drive my customers. So let me share with you in no particular order, when it comes to having a business, what I know is important, but it's just something to think about. So we have to master customer acquisition. So we have to master clients coming in all the time. So if you think about this, if you are the practitioner, if you are the yoga instructor, the fitness trainer, the massage therapist, you have to do the service, and then you have to figure out how to get clients in the door to do the service. So sometimes you're juggling doing what you love with running a business and doing all this marketing stuff. And so sometimes that gets really chaotic. the other part, and so for me, I as I tell you at the end, my kind of my better way of doing things, but that's one of the things that is bogging us down is we're like juggling everything. I'm doing the service, I'm trying to do the business, I'm trying to market, I'm trying to do everything. And then working too much. So in some cases, especially if like for fitness trainers, you may be up 5 in the morning or 5 in the morning, and you're taking your last clients at 7 o'clock at night, and the day is long. Maybe you're making good money, but you're just constantly working all day. And again, I realized that wasn't sustainable. Like that wasn't the life that I could live for myself. The other thing I realized about what I was doing is I wanted to have happy money. Happy money goes back to me delivering something that the customers graciously want to pay for, but me delivering something I graciously want to provide in a way that's pleasurable for my lifestyle. So happy money wasn't me working 12 hours a day, 5-7 days a week. That wasn't happy money. I was making money, but in the long run, that wouldn't make me happy. Or when I realized it, I just was like, that's not happy money. Happy money, honestly, is me working 4 hours a day and making 6 figures, not working 12 hours a day and making 6 figures. So I always look at happy money. And then it's important to have, my mom always says this, it's important to have 2 or 3 different monies, meaning that if you have whatever you build, if you're truly building something, then you want to have different profit centers. So for Necessary Nutrition, we have our product line, we have our franchise where we offer other products, we have our membership base, we have different revenue streams. In case one is down, then we have another one. And I think that is important to not have all your eggs in one basket. So if you're a practitioner, if you're let's say you're a fitness trainer, then it makes sense to have applicable wellness products. If you're a yoga instructor, maybe you have yoga mats or whatever fits in there, that you have some other opportunity to bring in some other money. And I love to work with other entrepreneurs, but I always just look at, okay, what makes the most sense in this business or my business, other revenue streams. So that's important. Often I'm kind of going back is that we get in the rat race of trading time for dollars. And in some cases that's okay. It just wasn't okay for me. So in order to not trade time for dollars, meaning like a person is paying me for this hour or this part of my time, because there's only so much of you. There's only so much time you can have, and you cannot grow or make a whole lot of money when you're trading your time for dollars. So I'll come back to that. I like to pay attention a lot to my income and like the return on the investment. So ROI, the return on my time, like how much time am I spending and how much time am I spending and how much money is coming from that. And now 10 years later, I know that there's a better way to bring in income and spend my time. I really, really, and because I know this is possible to have everything you want and to make happy money that everybody's happy to give you and you're happy to receive, and you're not working like a lot. And then I always look at this again in the wellness industry as practitioners. What is the future game plan? Like whatever you're doing now, can you retire on this? Can you do this the rest of your life? What if you get tired? What if you break a leg? Like what's going to happen to your business? Can you set it up in such a way that it is heading to the place where it's foolproof, where you don't have to worry about that? What I didn't do at first was do that. I was just going, building. And then when I realized I can't keep up at this pace, then I had to figure out or readjust of how I could eliminate all those roadblocks for me. And then it's like, pay attention to what the universe or God is bringing to you. So I had a breakdown maybe a couple of years ago, and literally a breakdown, like working a lot. And I just was like, I want to say embarrassed, but it's not really embarrassed. Like on the outside, I built this successful business and it was, but I just said, I can't do this anymore. God, I just can't. Like, what am I going to do? Like I built this, it's paying my bills, but I can't keep going. What can I do? And so then an opportunity showed up for me which I will tell you about. And I'm going to go and share my screen because I'm going to pull this up in a second. So give me a second to share my screen. An opportunity showed up for me, and initially I didn't, so my screen is coming up. An opportunity showed up for me because remember I was praying like, okay, what can I do? And the biggest problem was I was trading, I just was working too much and there was no residual money. If I stopped working, my money stopped coming. And that is not sustainable overall, especially not for me. So the first thing that happened is I met a lady and I saw this gardening system, which really intrigued me. And I saw it and I bought it. And I bought it, and I also bought the distribution rights to offer it to my customers because I loved it. I started growing my fruits and vegetables and all of that good stuff, and Necessary Nutrition, it just fit in with that. So I bought it. And when I bought it, I didn't know really what I was getting into, if you will. So I purchased the Tower Garden, and my customers started to purchase the Tower Garden as well. And when I did that, when I bought it, they started to buy it, and I started getting checks from the Juice Plus company as a distributor. So I became a distributor for the Juice Plus company, and by doing that, I created another revenue stream. But what happened was, like when people would buy accessories to the Tower Garden, I would get residual income. That's how it initially started. But what happened over the time is I started to look more into what the Juice Plus company was. So I'm Necessary Nutrition. I have my company. I built it. I was very uninterested in selling anybody else's products. But again, I prayed for an opportunity, and sometimes an opportunity shows up for you and you don't recognize it. You don't pay attention to it. And I always say, stay open, stay open to opportunities. So back again, I bought the Tower Garden and I started to look into, I already owned the Juice Plus franchise, and I started to look into their whole nutrition line, which I was very skeptical because, you know, my ego said I knew everything. But once I started to look at the product and look at all the research and all the feedback and all the customers just raving about how, because it's fruits and vegetables in a capsule. So Juice Plus has the Tower Garden, which I showed you. This is one of the Juice Plus products, and my company has a franchise. And the franchise was $50, so it was a no-brainer, right? So I'll kind of get to how this became an immense opportunity for Necessary Nutrition and myself. So we have the fruits and vegetables in a capsule. It's literally 30 different fruits and vegetables in a capsule, but when we flood our bodies with all of this produce, amazing things happen. I wish I could tell you all the things that have happened in my body and everybody else's body, but I'm not going to even go into that. But what happened was, with the Juice Plus company, I have the opportunity so it's consumable. So my customers and clients, they take it and then they buy it again when they're done. So it is a consumable product, which is, you know, residual income. And then I have the opportunity to have other representatives that I introduce to Juice Plus, and they have their own franchise, and that becomes all these distribution points for Necessary Nutrition. And so it didn't take me long to realize the value, and where it became powerful is, and I talk to you as a person in the wellness industry, if you already have a clientele, and in this case, for me, nutrition, it made sense. It helps, it's just top quality and it made sense. So I immediately started bringing in revenue into my business because I already had customers. It was just an easy marriage. And when I would tell this to other fitness trainers, wellness practitioners, and it made sense to them too, right? Then it quickly gave them another revenue stream. And because it's like I said, all these distribution points, I say if you're in the wellness industry, it's something to really, really pay attention to. So how I built my business the wrong way was not having all of these distribution points. How I'm building it the new way, I still have my company, I'm still doing the other things, but this has added a tremendous revenue stream with so many distribution points. It's just been a game changer. I think that what I would want from you, if this even made sense, is actually to be open to the concept, because I almost missed my opportunity. And the Juice Plus franchise, as I mentioned, it is incorporated right into Necessary Nutrition. And I literally bought the franchise for $50 a year. So I knew, I'm like, you know, I couldn't go wrong with that. And it exceeded my expectations wholeheartedly. What I want you to know about it, which is wonderful, is because it is a franchise, there's a system in place. So you're not trying to figure out, okay, what to do. There's literally a system of how to run this. Like if you bought a McDonald's, which is inappropriate if we're talking about wellness, but if you bought a McDonald's franchise and then you spent millions of dollars and then you wanted another franchise, then you would spend millions of dollars. And that's a lot, right? In this case, when you have a franchise and you want another franchise, so I have trainers and massage therapists and all other people in the wellness industry, they got their own franchise, and now I too have all these franchises, which is the same for you. You know, other trainers, other yoga instructors, other massage therapists, other people in the wellness industry. If it makes sense to them, then it is distribution points for you. The other part, it has a direct sales aspect to it, which is good, which means really that they can't just go buy it on Amazon. Amazon killed one of my other products. I had another product and it was like someone could go get it cheaper on Amazon. You don't want that. You want a product that you can't just go get anywhere else other than through the direct distributors. That safeguards that product. The other aspect of it, as I mentioned, it does have a network marketing aspect into it, which I was super, super resistant to for so many years. But it makes sense because when it comes to this type of marketing, if you're an entrepreneur, I want you to hear me on this. This was one of the biggest, like, boom, boom, boom for me. I would spend money on marketing. I would run ads. I would do just, all kinds of things to drive business, right? Ads, money, blah, blah, blah. With network marketing, because the product is so good, if you've been constipated and you take Juice Plus and now your bowels are moving freely, or you had high blood pressure, or you used to have migraines, or whatever the case may be, and you saw a positive change in your body, you are going to tell your family, you're going to tell your friends. It doesn't require, because of the way that it's set up, it's word of mouth. It propagates itself. I don't spend any money on this franchise. It is all profit. There's no money that I spend on marketing it, because it has an aspect that goes, and there's a system to that. And then the other part, which is awesome, is that there's a benefits package. So like with corporate America, when you have a job and you get health insurance and life insurance and tuition reimbursement, it's included in your franchise too. So you potentially, if you had a franchise, you could get health insurance that is paid for by the company. So once I just started to do the numbers and I started to get checks, and I'm being honest, when I started to get checks, then I realized this is crazy, and anybody who's building a business should at least be open to the idea. And so what I say to you as you're listening, and what I want from you and what I don't want from you, I don't want you to do anything that doesn't make sense to you. And so if you're open, that's what I say, if you're open to getting more information so that I can explain how it could work or not for you and what you're already doing. Because my intention is to show you that if you are, however your business is structured, whatever you do, can this fit in easily to what you're doing and bring you another revenue stream? And in that, in all honesty, because if it's not going to help you, right? If it doesn't make sense, then you wouldn't go down the route. And so what I say is, let's connect and just see if it makes sense. Let's look at the possibilities. I will tell you what's possible. And even in terms of revenue, what you can expect, how long it will take to get to that, and what's a potential strategy. That's what I want to do. I want to, if this is of interest to you, I'd love to connect with you one-on-one, and let's just talk and see if it makes sense. Nothing else. It could make sense. It could not make sense. I just want to have the opportunity to explore. And again, I almost missed it because I would say my ego, I thought I knew everything. I'm like, I don't want to do this, blah, blah, blah. It changed the game for me. I love helping other people build a business, build a revenue, because it makes me very, very happy to see other people grow. And then again, I spent 8 years the other way, working way harder, honestly, than I work now. Way, 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 way harder. So again, I don't want to make this long, but I just say, let's get in touch. You can call me, don't text me because that's not my textable number. So you can call me, you can email me, message me on Facebook, and all you want to say is, Robin, give me some more information. And the more information really is, I just want to know more about you and your existing business or your desire, so that I can see how this could, or if it could, make sense. And then I can sketch it out for you and say, okay, Susie, I'm just making this up. This is how this would work. This is how you can immediately build an income into what you're doing. And then, does that sound like that makes sense to you? And then you could say, yeah, that does, or no, it doesn't. And if it does make sense to you, then you too have the opportunity to get your franchise for $50. And I will be there to support you and get you to whatever your desire is. If it's bringing a couple extra $100 to your existing business, if it's bringing thousands of dollars to your existing business, I'm there to support you on doing so. So with that being said, yeah, I welcome the opportunity to explore, be open. Don't be like me. Just be open, and I won't bite you, I promise. We'll just chat. All right. So that be that. I look forward to connecting with you. Just reach out to me, and we'll set up a time. We'll either do a phone call or video meeting, and we'll go from there. All righty. Let me see how to turn off the recording.